1 in 3 people over the age of 60 struggle with their walking, and there's a big cause of walking problems that almost no one considers. In today's video, I'm going to reveal what that thing is and how you can fix it at home. The idea for this video came from a 2011 study which looked at the walking patterns of older people. They found that older people tended to use less of a movement called hip extension, which looks something like this. What they did then is take those older people and put them through a 10-week program of hip flexor stretching, which is designed to increase their hip extension. And the stretching program worked. They gained flexibility and they increased their hip extension by 22%. But what did this do to their walking? Well, absolutely nothing. Even though they were more flexible, they didn't change their walking pattern at all. So this study showed that it isn't just the range of motion that's the issue, it's being able to activate your hip extensors when you're walking that is the most important thing. So now I'm going to show you some of the best exercises to help you do just that. But before I do, I just need to make you aware they're not suitable for everyone, and please avoid any of the ones that cause you pain. The first exercise I'm going to show you is a simple hip extension in standing. Now this is really easy to do. You just need a worktop or a chair tucked against the wall like this. And you're going to start off standing really close to it. So you actually want your legs and your pelvis almost touching the back of that chair. You can put 2 hands on for support as well. You're going to take all of your weight over onto one leg, keep your back upright throughout the whole exercise, and just take that leg out and behind and then back in. Now if you watch this movement, it's tiny. I'm barely moving, and that's because we've only got 10 degrees of hip extension in a healthy hip. You might be saying, well, I can get my leg way further than that, but look what I'm doing with my back. I'm bending my entire pelvis, or I'm rounding my entire pelvis to allow me to do it. If we just isolate the hip, that's all you've got, 10 degrees. So it's a small movement, and you want to keep that leg nice and straight. Obviously do both sides, and all I'd recommend you do is 10 in a row. And the best way to do this is just whenever you get 30 seconds, just do 10. And you might do that 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once at lunch, once in the evening, works really well. Let's have a look at the next exercise now. But before I show you it, if you're enjoying this routine and you want more help in improving your mobility and staying independent for life, the best thing you can do is join my lifelong mobility program. There's tons of follow along exercise routines inside that you can do alongside me, and you can find details of it in the description box below. The next great exercise you can do to improve your hip extension is the bridge, and it's a very simple move. You can do it on your bed or a mat on the floor, and it looks something like this. The pillow is optional, by the way. Some people like to do it without a pillow, but I'm going to use one. And what you're going to do here is bring your feet as close to your bottom as you can and just close down that little space between your back and the bed or the mat. You do that just by squeezing your core, and that will push your back down into the bed. This is your starting position. You're going to try and push through the heels, and you're going to only lift up as far as it takes to get your body in a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. You should feel your quads and your glutes contract. At the top, just squeeze your buttocks together like that. That's that hip extension type movement, and then slowly come back down. Simple as that. Now, one of the big mistakes people do with this is they go up too high. You don't need to go that high, just come down an inch from your maximum and then keep doing it. And I would do 10 to 20 in a row of that. Now, if that's quite easy for you and you want something tougher, try doing it on one leg. So what we're going to do for this is straighten one of your legs out like that, so it's parallel still with the opposite thigh, and then push just through the other leg up into that hip extension position and then back down. And I would do 10 in a row, just working one side, and then you swap. So put that one down, straighten this one out, and then repeat. And this makes it much tougher. You'll feel your glute on this side having to work really hard, and that will help you activate those hip extensors and get better hip extension when walking in the future. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, the best thing you can do next is subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It's completely free. It just means that you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out. So thank you very much if you do that. The next exercise I've got for you is one that's also going to help you improve your hip extension when you're walking. Now, it involves lying on your front, so you'll probably want to do this on your bed, or you can use a mat on the floor. And you're not going to have a breathing hole in your bed like I do. So instead, what you're going to do is take a towel, roll it over into a sausage, and put it on the bed like that. You're going to rest your forehead on that towel. Here's how the exercise looks. So you're going to lie on your front like this, put your forehead on the towel so it's comfortably rested and you can still breathe, and then bend one of your knees to 90 degrees. Keep everything else on the bed, and then you're just going to activate your glute here and lift that knee up off the bed, just 10 degrees in the air, and then pop it back down. Simple as that. So when we lift that leg up towards the air, we just want probably a 3 or 4 centimeter gap between your knee and the bed, and then you let it come back down. So what we're doing here is squeezing the glute and lifting. Try not to use your hamstrings. If you feel this go into cramp, then you're doing it wrong. You can change the angle of your knee to try and get rid of that hamstring contraction and bring it here. And another thing that helps is to squeeze your bum together before you lift. So squeeze the bum and lift, and then put it all the way back down. And you might do 10 of those in a row and then swap legs. And that's a great way to work those hip extensors. Now, if you want to go one step further, we can make this even more relevant to walking by keeping your leg straight. So that looks something like this. Exactly the same setup, hands down like that. You're going to squeeze your bum together and then lift that straight leg up in the air, and then come back down. Now, a key for this exercise is not to use these spinal muscles. So try and keep these semi-relaxed. You're just going to use them to keep you in place, but 90% of the work is coming here in the glute. So to activate those glutes first is really important. Squeeze the pencil between your bum cheeks, then lift the leg, and then bring it back down. Now do 10 of those in a row, 3 times over. You can just do that a couple of times a week, and it will make a huge difference to your hip extension when walking. So I hope that video has made sense. If it has, please drop a comment below and let us know. And if you have any questions, also drop those in the chat below. We love to read your thoughts. There's another video on the screen right now which will help you improve your glute strength, which is very important for this same goal. And I'll see you again on the next video.